What is up, guys? It's Bozuku. Today I'm going to show you the exact vocal chain I use on this Cardi B remix.
Boys don't deserve no pussy. I know that's right.
Ooh, I like the way she talked to me. Put her on the bike, vibrations got her holding on to me. Told her friends about me, now they on their IG stalking me. If she got an attitude, I tell her take a walk from me. I heard Jack's man hella broke, but I'ma dress you right. Told my emo friends I'm back on rap and still at emo night. I had to spit some bars up on this mic so I can speak my mind. But I can't play no fucking games, I need my peace of mind. Ain't no limit on me, I'm the highest in the place. I just pulled this little bitch from the club, she had a tiny waist. That's the fattest in the building, plus she had a pretty face. Yeah, I'm a ruthless motherfucker, hey. You said you don't want no problems, why you pull up in my hood? I got shooters in my pocket and they always do me good. People threaten to do things that they know they never could, huh? Yeah, I really wish a player would. Yeah, she tryna talk to me. Her man around, but he won't walk to me. I heard they talk behind my back, so I said fuck them all. Let it ring, bitch, I ain't got no time for calls. Alright, so you just heard the song, so I'm going to go ahead and explain how I have the session set up. We've got 3 leads here. These are all the exact same. The only difference is on this top one, I had my interface a little bit quieter, so it's turned up louder. That one's at 0. These two are at -1. Left and right, boom. These are the exact same as these two down here. Only difference is 9.8, 11.4. One of them is a little bit louder. And then I have this delay. So to start with the lead, I'm going to go ahead and solo it, and we can go ahead and hear that by itself. Yeah, ooh, I like the way she talked to me. Put her on the bike, vibrations got her holding on to me. Told her friends about me, now they on their IG stalking me. If she got an attitude, I tell her take a walk from me. I heard Jack's man hella broke, but I'ma dress you right. Cool, so you heard it. So it's a very just like clean, crispy top line. We don't have any delays on here. We don't have that much reverb. It's essentially just a really crisp, punchy rap vocal is what we're going for. So let me show you exactly how I got that. Let me play it for you guys raw or dry. Here we go. Ain't no limit on me, I'm the highest in the place. I just pulled this little bitch from the club, she had a tiny waist. That's the fattest in the building, plus she had a pretty face. Cool, so, alright, so the first plugin we're gonna go ahead and add is this DeEsser. This is just the Waves DeEsser. I use this on pretty much everything. I really don't switch up my DeEsser much at all. The easiest way to get to this, just do factory presets. Click up there, click down here, boom, male S. If you're a female, you might want to start with female S as your starting point. And then I went ahead and dragged this to 20. Normally, 30 to 20 is where I keep them on most of my tracks. The second thing we have going on is our EQ. I'm using Logic's channel EQ. And these are my settings. You can go ahead and copy them down below. We're doing only reductive EQ, meaning we're only pulling down frequencies. We're not boosting any, like some people will do this kind of stuff over here. I don't do that too much. And if I do, it's normally not in my first EQ. But in this case, we only have one EQ, and this is how it is. You could also use another EQ if you don't like this one. But if you're watching this, you probably have Logic and you probably have it. But you can always recreate this shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're just using 5. So you just need at least a 5-band EQ. And as long as you have that, you'll be able to copy this shape and kind of copy these same numbers I have going on down here. The third thing we have is the RCompressor. This is one of my favorite compressors. I use it pretty much all the time for my first compressor in a chain. These are my settings right here. 30, 3.4 ratio, 10.5 gain, 4 attack, around 750 to 800 release, as you can see, minus 767. So let's go ahead and listen to what we've got now. And for comparison, take them off. Cool. The next thing we're gonna do is add our second compressor. This is gonna be the CLA2A. If you've seen my other videos, you know this is pretty much my favorite compressor of all time, and I think a lot of people would agree with me. It's very simple to use. We have our gain about 50, and we have the reduction about 85. So this is pretty compressed. Pretty much all music nowadays is pretty compressed, but especially like a top vocal on like a rap song or hip hop song. And this one's gonna do a lot. I'll go ahead and show you guys what this one's doing in real time. So this is with it off right now, and then I'll go ahead and turn it on. I heard Jack's man hella broke, but I'ma dress you right. Told my emo friends I'm back on rap and still at emo night. I had a cool. So already we're bringing back that volume. We're compressing it, so the high levels of our song and the quiet parts of our song are kind of more the same volume. Makes it a lot easier to listen to. It's kind of bringing that vocal to the top. The third thing we have is pedals. This is something that you could only have in Logic. This is actually one of the reasons I like Logic so much, is because they have this kind of guitar pedal board. You can always replicate it with another plugin and another DAW, but I love Logic, and I've been using pedals since I started. So right here, we just have two squash compressors. One's fast, one's slow. The fast one, I have negative 22.5 dB and then level 1.5. Slow, 22.5 dB and 1.5 as well. All right, and what that's doing is really just kind of smoothing out the vocal. I'll go ahead and play that for you guys.
I heard you X man hella broke, but I'ma dress you right. Told my emo friends I'm back on rapping, still at emo night.
Cool, so I feel like it makes it a little bit smoother, and it kind of widens out the vocal a bit. The next thing we're gonna do is this S1 imager. This is pretty much gonna widen our vocal a little bit more. Since we're not having like multiple layers throughout this entire song, and it's mainly just a lead vocal. I do have dubs, but it still sounds great even with just a lead vocal. We want to make sure that it's kind of like wide and filling up our headphones or filling up the speakers when we play it. It's going to be subtle, but it does make a difference. So I'll go ahead and do the same thing. Let's do a different section. Do this over here, and I'll turn it on halfway through.
Ain't no limit on me, I'm the highest in the place. I just pulled this little bitch from...
Actually, let me solo it for you. But like I said, it is going to be subtle. You might not even really notice it that much.
Ain't no limit on me, I'm the highest in the place. I just pulled this little bitch from the club.
Yeah, so you really can't hear it that much, but I promise it does do something. These are my settings. I pulled it up. I think this is just the stock if you pull it up. But gain 0, width 1, asymmetry 0, rotation 0. And you can mess around with these. I wouldn't really do that. But sometimes the width I like to mess around with, but I like how right at 1 it just kind of sits in my ears. I feel like it feels good. It's not too wide, it's not too thin, and like I said, it's super subtle. So don't stress over that. The next thing we're gonna do is add just a little bit of a doubler. This is gonna do the same thing. This is just gonna thicken up that vocal for us, so it doesn't sound too thin. I feel like having vocals too thin is a really good way to make them sound not professional, which is not what you want. So we always want to make sure our vocals are nice and thick, unless it's like a stylized kind of like lo-fi song or something. Thin vocals sound pretty cool, but I like mine thick. Let's go ahead and hear it without and with.
Ain't no limit on me, I'm the highest in the place. I just pulled this little bitch from the club, she had a tiny...
Cool, so if you have headphones on, you'll especially be able to hear that. We're essentially adding 2 more voices, but they're very quiet and they're panned out to the sides. So if you look at my settings, the gain for these is negative 13.4 and negative 13.2. This is my personal setting I have. Whenever I put a doubler on a lead vocal, this is what I do. So I recommend saving this as a preset if you want, and you can throw it on a lot of your vocal chains. So this is kind of a visual. If you look at this white dot right here, this is kind of your lead vocal, and then these 2 back here are the doubles, right? The extra voices you're adding in, and then down here we see the purple and the red, just like we have a red and purple dot there. These are going to be our settings. So you can go ahead and copy my gain, pan, and delay. Negative 13.4, negative 13.2. I normally like to have them slightly different volumes, and then the pan 45 on each side, and then the delays you're also going to want just slightly different. So I have about 10 and about 40. Cool. Next, we're going to go ahead and go into our buses. If you don't know how to get a bus, you're just going to click down here. I'll create a new bus just to show you. You can click in one of these empty spaces, bus, and then boom, like bus 4. And see how over here it has just created my new bus. I can put in a plugin, and then I can use this slider to adjust how much of that plugin I want sent in. So instead of automatically 100% applied, I could have 1% do 100%, essentially. But we don't want that one. My first bus is right here. This is Space Designer, another Logic plugin, which I really love. This is just on the Villa bathroom preset. So you can click down, small spaces, rooms, boom, Villa bathroom. Click that, and I have that bus at negative 22.2. So go ahead and turn those on, and let me show you what this is doing. So I'm gonna drag it up and exaggerate it so you can hear it, but this is just adding a little bit of reverb. This is gonna be our short reverb. So let me show you what that's doing.
Highest in the place. I just pulled this little bitch from the club. She had a tiny waist.
So as you can hear, it's essentially making it sound like you're in some sort of room and you have some sort of ambient space kind of bouncing around. The second bus that we have is another reverb. This is gonna be our longer reverb. This is Waves RVerb. So we are going to go up here, click Hall 1, click the drop down, boom, it's gonna be a preset. And you can make sure these settings are all the same. I believe this is actually how they pull up for the preset in this RVerb. But just in case they're not, you can go ahead and copy these numbers into your RVerb and boom, it'll be the same. And I have this bus set to 26.4. So anywhere around there, it's gonna sound good. And then the last thing we have in this vocal chain is our third bus, which is our parallel compression. So pretty much first thing you wanna do is an EQ. You're gonna wanna cut out some of your low end. Boom. Next thing you're gonna wanna do, right underneath that, CLA 76, another one of my favorite compressors. Go ahead and copy these settings. We have negative 5.4, negative 22.5 output, 3 attack, about 4.3 release. Ratio, this is very important. You want ratio to say all. And we're on Blackie. There's also a Bluey setting. We're gonna use the Blackie, and cool. And I will show you guys what that is gonna do. That's really just gonna like super crispy up the vocals. So we have it on negative 40, so not that much applied, but I think you will notice it. I'll go ahead and add it, and then I'll also drag it all the ways up to kind of exaggerate what it's doing.
Ain't no limit on me, I'm the highest in the place. I just pulled this little bitch from the club. She had a tiny waist.
And I'll do it again, but this time I'll really exaggerate it.
Ain't no limit on me, I'm the highest in the place. I just pulled this little bitch from the club. She had a tiny waist.
So as you can see, it's just crisping it up. It kind of helps the vocal cut through the instrumental. Helps it not be so muddied in with that and really separate it. And that is it, guys. That's the entire vocal chain. It's pretty simple. Like I said, we don't have any crazy amount of reverb. We don't have any delays on it. I don't even have auto-tune on mine. You could if you were doing a little bit more of like a melodic rap. That's why I have it here in the template, just in case somebody does want it. But, you know, if you're just like spitting, you really don't need it. And then we could go ahead and I'll show you guys our doubles. The DeEsser is the same. The channel EQ is the same. The RComp is the same. The CLA 2A is the same. But at pedals, this is where we switched it up. This is a sound toy. Oh, shit. So ignore that you just saw that I used a Not Waves plugin. I'm going to drag this over. Doop. Perfect. All Waves plugins again. So all the same, except we don't have the S1 imager. We don't have the doubler. We do have a delay. All right. We're using H delay. It's a quarter delay. Feedback, I have at 20. I have it at 13 wet out of 100. And I have a little bit of high pass on. Mine is at 173. Do make sure that you've timed your song to the BPM. I should probably make a video on how to do that. But anyways, mine's a quarter delay. Make sure the BPM's right. Mine's 140 beats per minute. Wait, no, it's not. Host. Mine's 166 beats per minute. So I don't know why that got changed. But yes, see? Make sure it's the same. Boom. Make sure those are all the same. We have no parallel compression on these ones. And we have the same reverbs, but we've just upped the send, so they have a little bit more reverb. Negative 13 for bus 1, negative 13.5 for bus 2. Let me solo these dubs for you. And guys, these are not just copy down takes. These are new vocal tracks that I recorded. So I did the lead vocal, and then I did 2 more takes of the parts that I wanted dub. Do not just drag it down. I never recommend that. It's not going to sound good. So let's hear these dubs. Oh, yeah. And for volume, I went ahead and pulled them down. Negative 11.6. One's panned all the way to the left. One's panned all the way to the right. Let's hear it.
I'm the highest in the place.
Cool. So it's pretty simple. Even without those, it's still going to sound good. And then for this delay, if you want any delays in your track, I don't have that many, but I do have, let's hear this with the lead and the delay.
You had a tiny waist.
Yeah, it doesn't do that much, but pretty much if you want a delay in there, you're gonna have the same thing, pretty much this entire thing. I took the pedals off because I wanted the delay a little bit thinner. And then on my H delay, pretty much I just have the wet all the way to 100, and I've added a little bit more high pass right around 500. Still a quarter delay, just because I think that sounds good. And all these other settings are gonna be the same, just without the pedals. And for the volume, you can drag that wherever you think it sounds good. Mine's at negative 10.6. So all together, let's hear it one last time. Here we go. Let's play a new part.
But I can't play no fucking games, I need my peace of mind. Ain't no limit on me, I'm the highest in the place.
Cool, so as you can see, I like it better with some dubs on it, but even with just the main lead vocal, it still sounds good. If you don't want to have dubs, it's a personal preference thing, I suppose, but I do like how they sound. And then if you see my other videos, you know this is kind of my go-to mastering chain. Mastering 3, boom. I went ahead and clicked that on Vitamin, which is a Waves plugin. You can do drop down, factory presets, mastering 3. And then I have the L3, threshold 4.3, and the out ceiling. And this is the L3LL Ultra. And then the last one I have is this L2, threshold negative 0.5, out ceiling negative 1.9. So you guys can apply that, and let me do it with and without the mastering because you'll hear a huge difference. So this is gonna be the difference between your music sounding not professional and sounding professional. Especially as far as having your mix sound nice and wide and full, and your volumes being high enough when you like upload them to platforms. I'm sure we've all heard like our friend post a song and it sounds super quiet compared to other songs. That's because it was not mastered correctly. So I'm gonna play it, and then after a few seconds, I'll go ahead and add on that mastering chain.
Told her friends about me, now they on their IG stalking me. If she got an attitude, I tell her take a walk from me. I heard you.
And yeah, that is the entire tutorial, guys. If you don't want to do all those steps, I do have this available on my website. Link in the bio if you want to save time. If not, I did give you step-by-step right here. Again, my name is Bozuku. You guys can check out my music. Link is also in the description. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure you like and subscribe. Drop a comment if you have any questions. I will hit you back. You can also reach out to me on my Instagram, which is in my bio. Also, I have all my music linked down below if you guys want to check that out as well. And then if you want to see more remixes, you can also check out the rest of my channel, my TikTok, and my Instagram. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.